Welcome back to the channel, folks. I'm your host, Fong. Thank you for joining another episode. And today, we're going to take a look at these with that. Yes, the new House of the Dead remake just came out again. Well, I guess it's new. It's kind of new. It was new a couple weeks ago on the Switch. And now it's new again on the PC. So we're playing the Steam version today. And that one came out at $24.99, same price point as the Switch. They're doing a 10% off, which they did on the Switch as well, so it's like $22.49. But the unique thing is, you can use these with it, and I'm going to be showing it on this Legends Ultimate Arcade that has a OTG PC in it already. We can take a look on the big screen, like the 75-inch, but through testing, the Ultimarc AimTrak gun does not like that TV. It's fine on here, perfectly fine, and the utility of this gun can work with both the CoinOps X games as well as the OTG PC, so it's got a lot of positives in its corner. The other gun here is a Sinden Lightgun. This is probably the top of the line. This actually has a far more precise way of locating the gun. If you can see here, it's got a camera built directly into it, and that camera pays attention to a white border that goes around the screen to be able to determine where it is in relation to the sides of the border, the top and bottom, things like that. The Ultimarc is more of a, it's basically an IR, so kind of like a remote control or the Wiimotes from back in the Nintendo Wii days, where it's looking at this LED light bar that's right below my display here, the bit pixel. So two different technologies. We're going to see which one's better. Ultimately, the cost difference is considerable. It's about, it can be close to $80 more for these guns, the Sinden versus the Ultimarc, if you add everything in. Now, both of these do have recoil, and that's the main feature there. The Ultimarc has this upgraded LED bar, so that's a little bit better. Both are wired, so we'll go ahead and check it out. They have respective software. We're not going to cover the gun software or anything like that. We're just going to go ahead and play House of the Dead Remake, because that's what we're here to talk about. And is it any better than the version that's on the Switch with the Joy-Cons and their gyroscopes? So let's take a look and see how it turns out. First one we're going to take a look at is the Ultimarc AimTrak. So this one does have the recoil, as I said, which basically turns it into having a requirement for power. This one does require a separate power adapter to be plugged in close to where the USB goes into the PC. So, you know, there's not really a problem with that. It's just you got to find an outlet and things like that, which should be pretty close anyhow. But it is another item that you have to have. Its cord length is probably, I would guess, somewhere around 10 feet. Maybe a little bit more than that. And you do have a software. And the software is already loaded on here. So I should be able to pull it up right now. Now you do have to have some distance. And really where the AimTrak works the best is probably like beyond 4 feet. It has the best, you know, view of the LED bar, and it's just going to make it a little bit better experience. You can hear the recoil there. I'm not going to do that too loud because it's going through a microphone. I'm actually thinking maybe we kind of cut that off in the software, because there's really no reason to keep hearing it over and over again. So let's do that. I'm going to go in. We'll just go ahead and turn that off quickly. That way we do, and we'll do the same thing. We'll hear it on the other one and then turn it off after we're done. And the recoil is here. I think we can just turn that all the way off. I believe that turns it off. We'll see. Otherwise, you could just unplug the power, but I'd have to pull the machine out. And I'm not really looking to do all that. Let's see what it does here. Nope, it's not firing, so yeah, we're good. Now, we'll go ahead and just start. The gameplay's decent with both of these, so that's a spoiler already for the video. I am far more happy with this experience than I am with the Nintendo Switch motion controls, right? Like, we're going to say that because we need to make a clarification. As I said in the video, the game is passable on the Switch just fine. It actually plays fine when you've got the unit all connected together and you're using like the right Joy-Con joystick or whatever. You can play that and be very happy with it. But for the motion controls or the gyroscope controls, it's just not really great. And there were so many issues around it that I just had a real problem with. I wanted them to bring this out. There was no mention that they were doing this game for any other system, but they ultimately have brought it out for Steam. I believe it's on GOG as well, so both PC. And they also brought it out for the PlayStation, or they are bringing it out. I'm not sure if it's out yet. But, with PlayStation, it may not have the... Oh, got to reload here. Give it a second. There we go. So, with this, we now have it on a system that can have different capabilities of light guns and stuff like that. And these two different technologies are definitely... They've been around, like the AimTrak has been around for quite some time. But it's getting better. And I'm pretty happy with it overall. The nice thing with the AimTrak is it works with this arcade machine as well. So if I want to use it for MAME games, MAME arcade games, or anything like that, it works with CoinOps X just fine. So no issue there. That is a downside, I guess, of the Sinden Lightgun right now at this moment. Now they are looking to make it work, and it does work in some ways. There we go. With MAME emulators, but only on PC. So you have to have it on PC to actually have it work. But down the road, they may get it to this. I know that there's some talk that that's going on within the arcade community, so they may be able to get it to like an Android or a Raspberry Pi. I know it does have some kind of Raspberry Pi capability right now. It's like beta almost. But yeah, the AimTrak does have that nice versatility that it can work on both, no problems. And you can see the game plays just fine. I'm having a very good time with it. I mean, I enjoy it immensely. You can do 2-player. I have 2 guns, 2 of the AimTraks. I just haven't set it up yet, so I don't have the other one hooked up. But you could play 2-player with it, and you could do 2-player with the Sinden Lightgun as well. So as long as you got 2 guns, which all these things get a little bit expensive as you start to add in more and more toys to these, either cabinets or just to your experiences playing. Games like they were meant to be played. So I think we're good here. We'll go ahead and jump over to the Sinden gun and take a look at that. So hang tight. Okay, so now we have the Sinden gun hooked up, and you don't see the border right just yet. I'll show you how that turns on. But the Sinden gun, nice things about it here, and this was loaned to the show by Steven, our buddy, who does some of the filming for us. Like, he did some Tokyo Game Show stuff and that. He let me borrow this, and really appreciative to him for that. It does have the recoil. It's a nice setup. He's had these for a while. I hadn't really messed with them too much, he said. But he did provide 2 of them that I could test with this. So we get a chance to see what both do and kind of the thoughts on it. Overall, this is a really solid feeling gun. Weighted well. The solenoid that does the recoil is phenomenal. It does have a longer cable. It's probably about 12 feet long, maybe a little bit more. And it only takes just the USB cable. So that's a nice plus. You don't have to worry about the AC adapter, losing that or anything like that. It's just one cable to the PC, and that provides the power to the solenoid and everything else. So the software itself, it's a little bit more feature rich than the AimTrak, but it's also a little bit more technical in the sense of setting it up. So if you take your time, go through it, read the material and documents online, you can get it pretty much set up within, I don't know, 15 minutes and be ready to go. The gun has multiple buttons where the AimTrak had 2 on the front, and then the trigger, this has trigger button, 2 on this side, on the right hand side, 2 on the left hand side, right there, and then a D-pad up and down, left and right. You can set any of these buttons to any operation within a keyboard, for example. So I just have it as the standard where you press the back button on the right and it will turn on the border. So now you have the full border going around, which is for the, I guess it'd be 16:9 ratio. You hit it one more time, you can use this for games that are 4:3. So kind of nice that it has both of those capabilities. Makes a lot of sense. And then hit it one more time, it turns it off. So we'll go ahead and turn it on right now. You can see it's tracking. You can stand fairly close. As long as the camera can see the full border, you can stand a little bit closer than the AimTrak. So I can stand about 3 feet away. We can have multiple people playing at once, which is nice. And yeah, you can hear that solenoid. It's powerful. So this also has one more button, which is the reload feature. So you can cock the gun and do that. So this one, a little bit more features, capabilities, things of that nature, bells and whistles, but it does come with that price tag. They start, somewhere in between, I think it's like 125 or 125 or 130 some dollars for the non-recoil version, and then the recoil version, I believe they're closer to around $150 or $170. We'll put links down below, not affiliate links or anything, just for information. They go through Indiegogo to purchase them. So I actually, after playing around with this today, I ordered 2. I was just like, yeah, I know which ones I want, because I want to use the, until a solution comes around for this, I want to use that AimTrak for the Legends Ultimates. So on the actual Legends, Coin-Op X side for MAME games or arcade games, but for like the big screen TV and potentially like the projector cade I have and all that for hooking a PC to it. All of my machines have PCs connected to them individually. So that's what this is connected into, is just a PC that's on the back side of the Legends Ultimate. But anything that I would have a PC connected to, I would definitely be using the Sinden. It works that well. So let's go ahead and check this out. We'll go just original. There it is. Horde mode just puts more enemies in there. If I didn't explain that in the last time when we talked about the Switch version, which you can find up here, go check out that video. You'll get a chance to see me trying different things for the Nintendo Switch to see if I could make it better or more precise, but ultimately really didn't have a lot of success. Nothing like this. I mean, this is really what, people that grew up with arcade machines and light gun games, things like that, really expect. This is actually so accurate, I could actually turn off the crosshairs and be able to play the game. The Ultimarc AimTrak, I can't do that with. I have to have that crosshair to track because it loses its calibration just slightly if you pull the screen off or you pull the gun off the screen. This one, no problems. It's really solid. And that's why I think for PC games or anything like that, I would definitely go with the Sinden Lightgun technology. But yeah, we could get rid of the little crosshair if we wanted to. Oops. And you can hear that. So I'm going to turn that off because that gets annoying. Give me one sec. And it's as simple as just going in to the software and just turning the recoil off like that. and then save and update, and it should update the gun. Now they say if it doesn't do that right away, what you can do is you can hit stop. That stops the actual service, and then you can hit start again, and then it'll fire it up without that. Now some people have complained about the border. You can shrink the border a little bit, and since we don't have tons of light in here, daylight, if we go in and do configuration, we could do a thin border like so. You can see how thin that is. That's actually really thin. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I will go in and do thin border with outer. So a little bit less of a border, but still something the gun can see, and we'll see if there's any difference. So let's go ahead and switch over back to the game. Yep, so there we go. Now we have no recoil, but we can still play the game. Let's go ahead and get this. And the border definitely makes a difference. You want to make sure that it's visible. I think there's a little bit of a difference now, not using that thicker border, but it could just be me that I got used to it. The recoil is so much better to play with, but it's really loud on the microphone. I know that. But yeah, this experience with this game, I'm so happy that they actually brought this out to PC, because this is really how this is meant to be played. I know that if you don't have all this stuff and you don't want to go out and spend the money, like $400 on these light guns and that stuff, the Nintendo Switch is a great deal. So being able to get this game on there and being able to play it that way. So I'm not going to knock it. Like I said, it was passable in that review that I did. It was just disappointing that they couldn't get the quality of what the expectations up to snuff, so to speak. So here on PC, though, with these, you are paying $200 for this, and you've got to have a PC connected, and there's extra costs that are far more than a $350 Nintendo Switch and a $24 copy of the game. You're probably going to pay, if you're lucky, double to have more of the arcade experience with a screen and a dedicated light gun like this. So there's definitely going to be cost increase in looking at this. But overall, I'm ecstatic that they've got this game. I hope to see more light gun games come out now that we can see this, and I hope this has a lot of success. It looks like it's doing pretty well on Steam right now, so that's a good sign. More companies may want to do this. Sega may want to bring out House of the Dead 2 and 3. Maybe they'll do more than just the House of the Dead or Typing of the Dead Overkill, which is available on Steam, that you can flick on an option and then you get House of the Dead and you can use a light gun with it. And we'll show that maybe on the channel here in a couple days or something like that. But it is nice and refreshing to see it working so well, especially with this type of device. The AimTrak as well, if you've got one of those and you use it for your Legends Ultimate, that's just as good. So I'm fairly happy across the board. Happy that they brought the game out. The game's definitely worth it. It was worth it on the Switch, but just some disappointment around how well it performed. But with these devices, there's totally new knobs you can turn and dials and make it even more precise. So very happy that they've done this, and overall glad that they brought the game out. I love to see developers do that. Go out, get an IP, redo it, put it out there, and make it this kind of quality. We may get a chance to look at the PS4 version as well, PS4 or PS5, I guess. But I'm going to wait until they actually put that the Move controller capability into it. They said that was going to come after launch. The reason being is, I don't know how they're doing that, because Sony didn't allow anybody to utilize, or didn't have anybody utilize, the Move controller for any game that wasn't VR. So either they've made it a VR game, which would be amazing. I doubt it. Or they've gotten some special thing from Sony to be able to use the Move wands to be able to make that work. But we do have that equipment here, and as soon as that works, we'll give that a test and see how that turns out. But yeah, very happy with the House of the Dead remake on Steam with the different light gun manufacturers that are out there and the technologies that they have capabilities of putting on PC and running with it. So if you haven't already, give this video a like. Also give it a share if you know somebody that's interested in either the guns or the game itself and the quality and capabilities of its openness on PC to be able to accept new peripherals and accessories. And if you haven't, leave a comment in there and let us know what you think about the game itself or the guns. We can always do reviews on the guns as well. I know I've got 2 ordered. If you are looking to order these, there's probably a wait till about June for the Sinden Lightguns already. And for the Ultimarc AimTrak, I'm not even sure how long of a wait if they're available. Over the COVID period, they were not available, so you couldn't find them. I bought mine off of eBay, but you know, they may be coming back in stock, so just keep that in mind. If you've made it this far in the video, please give us a subscribe. We'd love to have you come back. Check out more content on the channel. We're doing all sorts of things around the arcade machines, as well as the table, the Infinity game table, light gun, or peripherals, things like that. The Steam Deck, lots of videos going up for the Steam Deck to showcase performance on that device. So we'd love to have you come back and check out more. And until next time, folks, have yourself a great day. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.